Look at the drugs you're taking. First off, do some cleanses. It may take a few weeks or a few months before you actually start getting to a better place. Do the appreciation. What can you be appreciative? You do that every day, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. What can I be appreciative for? That will start forcing you to focus on something good and positive, which will mean, by law of attraction, more thoughts will come in, and your positive ball will start getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's the procedure. You're at conscious competence, so you have to do it. You won't get to unconscious competence until you get to the point where your positive ball is bigger than your negative ball. This makes sense? This is why it's important, if you're doing the technique and you're defining what you want and you're thinking about it, but you're feeling bad, you can't focus on that, because that goal then is too big at that moment. You're spending too much time thinking about the how and the lack of it. Do you understand? When you're thinking about something you want and you feel bad, that means you're convinced you're not going to get it. You're focusing on the lack of it, the fact that you don't have it. And now you're vibrating, I don't have it, I don't have it, I don't have it. I don't have it, I don't have it. And when you're focusing on that, that's what you get more of. See, it's perfectly okay if you say, well, I'm massively in debt. I don't have much money, right? Let's say that's your situation and you want more money and you want to get out of debt. So it's okay to say, right now, I am massively in debt and I don't have much money. That's the situation. But what most people do is they go, and I have no idea how I'm going to get out of debt. I don't know how I'm going to get more money. I don't know how I'm going to get more money. I don't know how I'm going to get out of debt. I just keep getting worse in debt. I just keep getting worse and worse. Nothing goes my way. I mean, I'm so unlucky. Everything is working against me. I don't understand how bad things are. It just keeps getting worse and worse. I'm worse off today than I was a year ago. I just keep getting further and further in debt. I don't understand. Maybe I'm a compulsive spender. Maybe it's the banks. Maybe it's the interest rates. Maybe it's the fees. It's my job. I can't get a raise. I can't get more money. I'm always getting sick. Every time I'm getting close to doing something, it just works out against me. But guess what? You're vibrating that into your life, and that's what you're going to get. Instead, say, I'm massively in debt, and I don't have much money. But I have no idea how I'm going to get out of debt or get more money. But I know something will present itself. I don't know how. So right now, I know that in time, and I don't know when, but everything will work out fine. Everything always works out fine. I don't know how, but I'm sure things will work out okay. See, you're just trying to get some feeling, some thought that makes you feel better. Maybe for you, you have to say, you know something, I'm in debt, I don't have much money, and maybe I'll never get out of debt. Maybe I'll go through the rest of my life and never get out of debt and never have much money, but you know something, that's okay, that's not so bad. At least I'm not living in some country where I'm sleeping on dirt every day. You know, so maybe I'm in debt. It isn't so bad. See, maybe that is the only thing you can grasp onto and feel good about. And say, but I'm sure things will turn around. Maybe I'll slowly get out of that. Maybe little by little. Maybe something will happen. See, you start thinking just a little better thought. The key is to feel good now, but the real key is don't focus on feeling spectacular. The real key is when I say feel good now, it's feel better now. You should always be working on feeling a little bit better than where you're at because you're all at different levels. Does this make sense? Okay, good. Question. How important and powerful are words? Yeah, we talked a little bit about words. Words, the words you use are really irrelevant because what's really relevant is when you are speaking words, words do have vibration. But when you're speaking words, it's the attachment of the vibration to the word that's more important. So if I use a word and you use the same word, we may use the same word but have a completely different vibration attachment to it. So the real key is use words that when you're saying them, they make you feel good. They make you feel better. And everybody has different speech patterns and words that you use. Again, my phrase that makes me feel much better is everything always works out. Everything always works out for me in the end. I don't know how, but it will always work out. All is well. That's another phrase that people use. All is well. Things are fine. Things always work out. Things always work out. I don't know how, and I can't explain how, but I just know everything always works out because I'm feeling good and I'm putting out a good vibration and good feelings are coming into my life in good situations. And things will always just work out fine because they always do. So words are important and speaking is important because when you say words, you're reflecting what your thoughts are, but you can also use words to change your thoughts. And you're looking for thoughts that are giving you good feelings. So choose words wisely.
Phil is ready.
Oh, it'll be fine. I mean, that's a great phrase. It'll be fine. It'll work out. It'll work out. I don't know how it'll work out. Everything's terrific. Someone says, how are you? Say a word or a phrase that makes you feel better. You can be as, quote, goofy as saying, I'm good and getting better. Oh, if I felt any better, it'd be illegal. Oh, I'm getting better every day.
One sugar.
I'm feeling great. You can say something that makes you feel good, but don't lie. Don't say something that makes you feel bad. Let's say I had a rough night last night. How are you? And let's say you feel horrible. How are you? I feel great. Well, you don't. You feel horrible. So it's perfectly okay. Someone says, how you doing? Well, I was feeling really terrible, but I'm really getting better. I'm working on really getting better. Because that's an accurate statement. I was really feeling terrible. Well, I got some bad news this morning and I felt like I got hit in the stomach. But I'm working through that and I'm getting better. See, that's an accurate statement. You can feel good about that statement because you're telling the truth. If you say, I feel terrific, I feel fantastic, you're lying. And actually you'll feel worse because your mind is going to be focused on the lack of feeling terrific and fine and on the problem. Make sense? Okay. Question. Excellent question. When you're using this technique in relation to another person, let's say you want this person to give you a raise or you want this person to do something. Isn't their thoughts, goals, and desires affecting the process? The answer is yes. Remember, when you transmit a vibration, that vibration is picked up by other brains and affects physical matter. So when you're dealing with another human being and you're putting out a vibration, and this human being, for example, is going to give a raise to somebody, or this person is going to decide whether he's going to buy your house at a certain price, and you're trying to put that vibration out, they may be putting out a counter intention vibration. Or somebody else may be giving an intention to them as well that's affecting them. This is why it's important that the larger scheme of things, the feeling that you ultimately want is what you're vibrating. And this is why you have to care, but not that much. And this is why one specific thing on a specific time frame is not the ideal way to send out a vibration, but rather a more general vibration of how you want to feel and a knowledge that there are things outside the radar screen that you don't know about that are probably much better off for you than what you even consider and see with your own two eyes. So if I'm dealing with a person, I want this person to invest in my company. Well, do I want this person to invest in my company? Or do I want investment into my company? And do I really want investment into my company? Or do I want my company to grow and prosper? Do you understand? You may think that you need this guy to give you investment into your company. Otherwise, everything's going to crumble. That's the wrong thought process. Maybe you need investment, but you may think You need investment into your company for it to grow and prosper and you to be ultimately successful. But maybe that's not true. So what you ultimately want is you want your company to grow and prosper so you can be ultimately successful, but that's not true. What you really want is for you to feel powerful and successful and feel that you've achieved something and become ultimately wealthy. That's what you really want. You don't want this guy to give you investment. You think that's the method to get you to the ultimate objective, which is you want to feel powerful, feel that you've achieved something, and become wealthy. That's what you want. You think you want this guy to give you an investment. That's not what you want. So when you're vibrating, I want this guy to give me an investment, that's really not it. So when you actually look at what you want, it's much better to say, what do I really want here? Do I want this guy to give me an investment? No, I think this is what's needed.
All right, guys, we're starting in 60 seconds, 60 seconds. Spread the word, spread the word. We're going to start in exactly 60 seconds, family, just giving everybody a chance. So send out that last message. Let everybody know OTCs. Grab those pens, grab those papers, sit in a nice, comfortable seated position. Go somewhere where you're going to actually be super intentional about this. And let's have a great call because we have a good one on the way, fam. So 60 seconds, send out those last messages.
Guess what, gang? You ain't that smart. This is why you can't assume things that happen or don't happen are good or bad. Because you have to really go, what do you ultimately want here? And let the universe use the best method to get you to where you want to go. So in this example, you don't want this, for example, you don't want this guy to give you an investment, and you don't want investment, and you don't want your company to prosper. What you're really looking for is you want to feel, that you've achieved something, that you've created something and become wealthy. So focus on that without the specifics, because what the method and the way that you think that's going to happen probably is not the method that is best and the way it will work out anyway. So don't even focus on it. Does this make sense? If you think, I want this guy to buy my house, no. You may think, well, I want somebody to buy my house, no. You may say, well, yeah, I want to sell my house. Well, why do you want to sell your house? So I can have enough money so I can buy a new house. So what you want is you want to buy a new house. You think the method that will get you to buy a new house is to sell your existing house. Well, maybe that's not the right thing. Maybe this is not the right time. Maybe the market's going to change in 6 months that you don't know about. And it'll be much better if you don't sell the house now. And that maybe there's going to be a great new house that's going to be given to you at a spectacular deal, and you can rent this house out and have a fantastic investment. You understand?
All right, what's up, familia? Grand Rising. My boy is tapped in with me. I see a lot of my family tapping in with me these mornings, and that just makes me super, super thankful. Hope everybody's having a great day. Grand Rising familia. Hope all is well. Hope everything is getting better as well. As you guys know, we expect miracles and we get miracles. Everything is always working in our favor. Okay, and everything is just always feeling so amazing, feels so good. We are vibrating as high as we can. These calls have been phenomenal the last few days. And as you guys know, today is Christmas. We live in positive anticipation that, everything is already here for us. So I'm very, very excited for every single one of you guys that are on this call. I got a great miracle yesterday. Love to see that. Love to see that. All right, put a 1 in the chat box if you did your morning routine this morning. Put a 1 in the chat box if you did your morning routine. You're feeling good this morning. You're feeling aligned. Everything just feels so good. You've been staying consistent for the last 3 days, like we talked about this on Monday. We said, hey, it's the last few days of the spring of this season. Let's finish strong this week so we can go into the summer with an even stronger mentality and with an even stronger momentum, which I'm extremely excited about. Your boy Nano definitely needs a haircut, but we're going to run it up. We're going to run it up because we're here to serve. We're here to help people. And I love to see people saying they are being consistent, family. So that is awesome. And that makes me extremely happy. Now, before we get the call started, let's talk about what's one thing that we are grateful for this morning. What is one thing that you are grateful for this morning? Type it in the chat box really quick. What is one thing that you are grateful for this morning? Type it in the chat box. Yes, 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 yes. I am grateful for God. I am grateful for my health. I am grateful for His grace. I am grateful for my family, my mom, my dad, my little brother, my goddaughter, Dariana. I'm extremely grateful for the leaders within my organization, my team. I'm grateful for my brother Gustavo, who's on the call with me, man. My brother Gustavo has been here. Funny story, Gustavo is one of my closest friends in life and in business, man. And Gustavo was actually here in 2017 when I first started my journey, September. Okay, literally he started here, and I remember when I started, he was on in my room calling out trades while I was playing video games, family. And I know that for him to be on this call and just seeing the growth and seeing everything, it's a breakthrough for all of us. So I'm grateful that I had somebody like him that was able to watch everything, and just amazing, amazing, amazing. So super grateful for the leaders in the org, grateful for this company, grateful for my mentors, grateful for the coffee, grateful for the whole Mornings with Nano community, and grateful for the book that I'm currently reading, The Power of Now. Super, super grateful. And I'm actually going to talk about, things I've been learning about the book. Haven't talked anything about the book as well. Love you more, family. But I said, you know what? I'm gonna start bringing it up because after reading it now for a few weeks, I'm about, I would say, almost halfway done with the book now. And it feels so good to read and learn different strategies and just different ideas, wisdom, and everything that comes with the journey in general. But I want to let all of you guys know that, make sure that you're consistently pouring into yourself, and make sure that every day you are striving to pour into yourself daily, every single day. Okay. So let's talk about today's topic. Today's topic is time is an illusion. Okay. Now, why did I make today's topic that, right? Time is an illusion. Okay. The reason for it is because I'm learning about being present in the moment. Okay. And something that I've struggled with in the past, okay, was that I struggled with staying present. Okay. With accepting the moment for what it is. I've always been the type of person that, you know, I've always wanted to be in the future, or I would be too stuck on what happened in the past. Okay. So I was never in the moment. I was always either in the past or I was always in the future. Okay. And what I realized is that in reality, I was holding myself back having that mindset. Okay. Because if you spend too much time in the past, you're already on your way there. Okay. And if you spend too much time in the future, you're not accepting what is right now. So as I was reading this book, I learned some phenomenal things that over the last few days that I've read it. And I was like, man, I got to teach this to the family. Okay. I got to teach this to the family because, this is what we all need to know. Okay, this is important. And I read this, earlier today, and I wanted to share this with you guys and break it down in a way where we can all understand it. So I just want you guys to listen for a little bit, right? So I read earlier that this is the key to, to mean it's like teachers, right? So this is what I learned today, right? It says a lot of us have the mindset of one day I'll make it. Okay. Put a one in the chat box if you've ever said that, or if you know someone who's ever said that, right? If you said, yo, one day I'll make it, one day I'll be successful, one day I'll be a millionaire, one day, one day, one day, one day, right? Okay. I don't, somebody said they can't hear me on Instagram. Let me know if you guys can hear me on Instagram so I know. Okay, used to say that. Okay, and no worries. I'll put a one in the chat box as well because, I probably said it not too long ago as well, right? So one day I'll make it. Okay, but listen to what he says. He says one day I'll make it. Is your goal taking up too much of your attention that you reduce the present moment to a means of an end? He said, is it taking the joy out of your doing? Are you waiting to start living? If you develop such a mind pattern, no matter what you achieve or get, the present will never be good enough. The future will always seem better. He said, it's a perfect recipe for permanent dissatisfaction and non-fulfillment. Okay. So let me repeat that one more time so you guys can hear it again. He says, having the mindset of one day I'll make it, one day I'll be a millionaire, one day I'll hit chairman, one day I'll get to where I want to go to, right? That mindset right there is taking up so much of your attention that you reduce the present moment at this very moment right here. It is taking the joy out of what we do on a day-to-day basis. Okay. And if you develop such a mind pattern, no matter what you achieve or get, the present will never be good enough for you. The future will always seem better. And I can tell you guys from experience, I've seen myself do this and I've seen hundreds of other people do this, right? They accomplish certain things and they're already ready for the next thing, right? They hit a rank, they get to a certain amount of income, and they don't even accept the present moment. They don't even accept the fact that they've already accomplished what they've been working so hard for, because their whole life, all they've wanted to do is live in the future. Okay, so they forget to accept the present moment. And if you really think about it, they're always in that dissatisfaction. They are in permanent dissatisfaction and they're not really fulfilled because they haven't learned how to accept the moment, the present at the very moment. And that happens to me, and that has happened to me the last 2 times that I've hit a rank when I hit 6 figures. I remember when I first hit Chairman 10, okay, when I first hit the 6-figure rank in my business, I thought that I was supposed to be happier. You know, I thought that I was like, I thought me hitting chairman was supposed to be like this big thing that I was gonna be just so happy, so fulfilled. But in reality, when I hit it, all I wanted to do was now go hit the next rank. Okay. And then when I hit chairman 25, okay, I hit it, but then it was like, all right, I'm ready now for 50. Okay. But it was because, all right, of the simple fact that I never took the time to accept the present moment. Okay. I never took the time to accept the present moment, be happy with where I was, be super, super here with myself. Okay. But Ricardo asked a great question. He said, what about being blissfully dissatisfied? Now, remember, being blissfully dissatisfied, we miss the first word, which is blissfully. When you are blissfully, that means that you are currently present in that moment. Okay, the only way that you can experience bliss is if you are present in the moment. Okay, can you be dissatisfied with where you are? Absolutely. Okay, you could get to a certain location and you could be blissfully dissatisfied, which means that you're present, you accept it, you love it, you love the moment that you're in. But guess what? You're ready for what's next. So I want you to understand this, okay, that the next time you accomplish something, I want us to really accept it. I want you to really be happy with it. I want you to really take the moment to celebrate it, because sometimes we even forget to take the time to celebrate the fact that we've accomplished something in our life, because we're just already chasing the next thing. We already competing against the next person. Well, this person's already here. Let me start working towards that we forget to be present in where we're at. And that's what he's explaining to us here. He says, having this mindset of one day I'll make it, especially, for example, for example, let's say right now we're saying, one day we'll make 7 figures. One day we'll be happy. No, we need to be happy right now. We need to be grateful right now. We need to be appreciative of what we have right now. We need to create that fulfillment for ourselves now. Okay, that's what we need to do right now is this. Too many of us are waiting to hit a rank to make a certain amount of income, to have a certain amount of people join our business, to have certain things happen in our life to actually be happy. But what about being happy right now? How about living in joy right now? How about living in gratitude now, today, at this very moment? This is what we need to learn how to do in order for us to be deserving of what is coming in the future. Because, like we always say, the feeling is the secret, okay? And that we got to live in the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Okay, these are so many signs that we've gotten over the last few months, knowing that we got to live in the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Well, if living in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, how are we going to feel when the wish is fulfilled? We're going to feel happy, joyful, excited, blessed, grateful. Let's start to create those feelings now. Let's live in those feelings now. Let's accept those feelings in our life right now. Let's not wait for those things to happen to then feel those feelings. Okay, because then what's going to happen is if you wait until that happens, okay, you're going to get it. You're going to not be really happy. You're going to think that you're going to be happy, and then you're going to just be ready for the next thing. So you're always going to be waiting to be happy because you're going to get the thing that you was asking for, right? Boom. And then you're going to be like, well, I want the next thing. So now you're going to have to wait until the next thing comes to be happy. No, we got to learn how to do it now. We need to know how to be tapped in with ourselves now. Okay, this is the key, because remember, at the vibration that you live in will determine the vibration that you attract. Okay, the vibration that you live in will determine the vibration of things that you attract. So what is your vibration right now? We talked about this about a few weeks ago when I was showing you guys the emotional guidance scale. All the emotions on the guidance scale, all 22 emotions, go all the way from number 1 to number 22. You have to be, if we look at, let me tell you guys, let me just bring it up right here, my emotional guidance scale. And if you guys want to look at what I'm looking up, just Google the emotional guidance scale, right? If we look at the number 1 emotion at the top, the first one at the very top, it says joy, knowledge, empowerment, freedom, love, and appreciation. Those are the emotions that we should be living in every single day. That should be your goal every morning, is to live in those feelings, to live in those emotions, feelings of joy, feelings of appreciation, feelings of just real love, family. That's what you want to feel. Those are the feelings that we should be feeling at this very moment right now. That's what we should all be feeling right now if we all are really aligned. And if you're all in the present moment, because remember, time is an illusion. Okay? Whatever happened yesterday. Doesn't matter. It's in the past. Okay? What did you Google? Emotional guidance scale. Emotional guidance scale. If you guys want to look at what I'm looking at, Google emotional guidance scale. Okay? Whatever happened in the past is in the past, and whatever is going to happen in the future is already in the future. But how do you feel at this very moment right now? You can't allow whatever happened in the past to determine your future reality. You need to be happy now. You need to be excited now. You need to be in joy now, in appreciation now for what you have and for what's to come. How many of you guys have actually practiced gratitude this morning? How many of you guys have actually sat there in the feeling of the wish fulfilled this morning? How many of us actually done that today? How many of us actually wrote our goals down this morning and actually practiced the feeling of sitting there and like, yes, this is mine. I am so grateful for this. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Living in the moment that is now right here. And this is what this book is teaching me, because that was something that I've struggled with. But look, he said when you focus so much on one day making it, one day being the millionaire, you take up too much of your attention and you reduce the present moment. Okay, you take the joy out of your doing and you are waiting to start living, when in reality we should be living right now. Don't wait to start living, live today. He said, if you develop such a mind pattern, no matter what you achieve or get, the present will never be good enough. and the future will always seem better. He says this is a perfect recipe for permanent dissatisfaction and non-fulfillment. Okay, so you gotta understand that that is super important. Do not miss that. But it got better as I went over. For those who have the book, I'm on page 86. Listen to this. I highlighted this and I was like, wow, I needed to hear that. He said there is nothing wrong with striving to improve your life situation. So there's nothing wrong with striving for us to improve our situation. We are obviously, some of us are dissatisfied with our situation. We want to make more money. We want to have a bigger team. We want to, accomplish more. We want to live in a better house. We want to drive a better car. So there's nothing wrong with striving to improve your life situation. He says you can improve your life situation, but you cannot improve your life. So when I read that, I was like, wait. Let me read that again. I had to read it a few times to actually understand that. So listen to this again. There is nothing wrong with striving to improve your life situation. You can improve your life situation, but you cannot improve your life. Life is primary. Life is your deepest inner being. It is already whole, complete, and perfect. Your life situation consists of your circumstances and your experiences. So what is he saying? He's saying that we already live life. Look, he said, life is already whole, complete, and perfect. We already live a perfect life. Think about it. We already live the best life. Don't allow the situations and the circumstances to determine the feelings that you live today. Okay, don't allow what's happening on the news. Don't allow social media. Don't allow the doubts, the fears, and insecurities of other people, okay, to determine your happiness, to determine your joy, to determine how hard you work. So many of us have allowed the things that are happening on the outside to affect the work that we do, to affect how hard we work. That it has to stop. That has to stop. We need to learn how to be present today. What is today? Okay, forget about what happened yesterday. Forget about the people that left your business. Forget about the account that you blew, the bad investment that you made. Forget about all of that. Let's focus on what we can do now, the next step, this right here. Because that's what he's saying. He said life is primary. Life is primary. Life is your deepest inner being. What do we always talk about? Inner work. Get the inner work done. You got to get the inner work every day. Why do I tell you guys, and I'm so hard on you guys, about doing your morning routine? It's because the inner work is what we need to do. Okay? The outside is a reflection of the inside. If you want to fix the outside, you got to work on the inside. Okay? If you want to change the outside, if you're not happy with what's happening outside of your life right now, you need to focus on the inside. It's so funny how all of these books say the same things in different ways. Have you realized that, guys? Almost every book that we study, from The Purpose-Driven Life to The Power of Awareness to The Power of Now to all these great books, they all say the same things in different ways. All these successful authors say the exact same things in different ways. And all of them say one thing that we all have in common, which is we need to learn how to master self, the inner being of us. So if so many successful authors and millionaires and billionaires say the exact same thing, then why are you slacking off on working on yourself? We are already getting all the sauce from everybody. We've gotten the same answer in different ways from multiple different resources, but still you slack off on doing your morning routine. You still slack off on working on yourself. You still slack off on your personal development. You still haven't bought a book to read. You still haven't started journaling. You still not meditating. But then that's the biggest problem. This is where a lot of people have been held back. You know why there's not thousands of people on Mornings with Nano right now? Because thousands of people didn't listen to me when I told them, work on yourself, develop yourself. You need to be ready for when the tough times come. When the tough times came, thousands folded, hundreds stayed. Because they didn't listen. They jumped on the calls. They were on all the calls. They jumped on every Mornings with Nano call. But they didn't listen to me when I said, make sure you're working on yourself. Make sure you're reading those books. Make sure you're listening to those audios. Okay. Make sure that you're writing your goals down daily so that that vision can stay clear in your mind. And guess what? The storm came. Whoop. And all the weak got exposed and the strong got promoted. It's always going to work like that. Especially, look, we have almost 500 people on the live. We have a few hundred here on Instagram. It's going to happen again. It's a cycle. It's the cycles of life. Okay? You guys on this call, look, I love all of you. I love all of you to death. I have you guys I have all of y'all back. But let me tell you guys something. One thing I can't save you from is that storm. I'm not going to be able to save you from that. If you're on these calls and you're listening to me, but you're not applying what I'm telling you, when the storm comes, it's going to pick you up. And you're going to go into the storm. And that just means that you got exposed for not doing what you said you were going to do. That's how it works. I've seen it happen to thousands of people. I've seen it happen to thousands of people. And you know what the problem is? That most people, they listen to the messenger, but not the message. Listen to that again. What people are doing is they listen to the messenger, but they miss the message. Don't get caught up in listening to the messenger, me, that you miss the message. Don't miss the message that I'm here to tell you. Okay, remember, teachability index. Teachability index. How do we measure someone's teachability index, guys? Tell me in the chat box if you know. How do we measure someone's teachability index? Let's see who knows in the chat box. How do we measure someone's teachability index? Right? Willingness to learn, number one. Willingness to accept change. That's how you measure someone's teachability index. For the 600-700 people on this call and the thousands of people watching after, right? Look at how beautiful this is. Every single one of you right now watching this at this very moment, you have a teachability index, all of us. It's measured by two things. Number one, your willingness to learn. If you're watching this right now, you have a high willingness to learn. Because guess what? You're watching this call. You're learning from me. You're learning from this book that I'm reading at this current moment, The Power of Now. You have a high willingness to learn. So let's just say your willingness to learn is a 10. Out of 10 is a 10. You have a high willingness to learn. Okay, that's number one. That's the first thing that determines someone's teachability index. The next thing that determines it, which is the most important thing, is your willingness to accept change. Your ability to apply the information is what's going to determine whether you have a high teachability index or not. Now, let me ask you guys this. If my willingness to learn is a 10, but my willingness to accept change is a 0, what is 10 times 0? What is 10 times 0, guys? Type the answer in the chat box. What happens when you multiply 10 by 0? You get 0. So your teachability is a 0. Your teachability index is a 0 if you're jumping on these calls to learn, but you're not applying it. It's the truth. That's the truth. That's how it works. If you jump on Mornings with Nano and you learn, you love the calls, you take notes, and then you hop off the call and you don't change anything, your teachability index is a 0. You will never accomplish success with a 0 teachability index. Never. It's literally impossible. Because remember, to know and to not do is to not know at all. Remember that. To know and not do is to not know at all. To not know at all. So it doesn't matter that you can, oh yeah, I know, but you don't do. So you don't really know. You don't know at all. If you hear me say, Nano, if you hear me say, yo, a book to read, you hear me talk about morning routines, you hear me talk about this, 7 days of consistency, read this book, listen to this audio for 30 days, go to this event, and you still haven't done these things, that's probably the reason why you haven't gotten to where you want to go to. I've never met somebody that has came up to me and told me, Nano, I applied your principles and I failed. I haven't met one person that has told me that. I haven't met one person that has told me, Nano, I've been applying your principles and I failed. Everyone that has told me, Nano, I've applied what you told me, I did what you said, and my life has changed. As a matter of fact, if you've ever applied anything I told you and you've seen a difference in your life because of what I told you, whether it was a book, an idea, an audio, anything, put a 7 in the chat box if I've made a positive impact in your life at all, whether it was through a book, through an audio, through a journal entry, through a call, through something that you applied. And guess what? That's one or few things. Look at how many people. I'm grateful. I don't even want to take the credit for it. I give all the glory back to God because it wasn't even me. He spoke it through me and I just taught it to you guys. So I can't even take the credit for it, guys. I can't even take the credit for it. That's all God's glory. It's all God's glory, family. So I appreciate that. I really do. But I give it all back to God. And it feels so good to be able to do that. It feels so good to be able to do that because that's what it's all about, guys. It's about taking the information. Guys, look, I am no different than any of you guys on this call. Look, I come from a regular 3-bedroom apartment here in New York City. My mom and my dad, they work low-income jobs. I don't come from much. You know what was the difference between me and the rest of the people that I started with? Was that I had a higher teachability index than every single one of them. That was the only difference between me and everybody else that I came up with. My teachability index was higher than everyone else's because I was always willing to change. I wasn't scared of change. I wasn't scared of doing things that I've never done before. I was willing to do those things. I was willing to put my face on the camera. I was willing to start stepping out of my comfort zone and talking to strangers on the street about my business. I was willing to be looked as the nerd that read books and journaled and, meditated. I was willing to change that. Think about that, guys. I'm from the hood, Washington Heights. Okay. People don't meditate. People don't read. People don't journal their feelings and gratitude. That stuff doesn't exist here. We don't grow up learning this stuff. Okay. I was having a conversation with one of my little brothers, the other day, on Monday. And he was literally telling me, I was like, I couldn't even believe this stuff. I was like, bro, I've been so disconnected. He was telling me about all our friends that used to come to my house. We used to live the same kids. I still remember us sitting in this living room right here. There's friends of mine doing 25 years in jail. There's another one doing 13 years. There's another one doing 10. There's another one doing 8 years. People that I sat here with doing years in jail, doing time in jail because guess what? Instead of taking one path, they took the other one. Friends of mine, little brothers of mine, people that I used to share clothes with. Like they were my little brothers' friends. So like I was always the big brother to them. So I was always the big brother, and they would always be hanging out with my little brother. So they was always here in my house all the time. And to hear that, it broke my heart because I know them personally. One has a bullet inside of them, one is lost in the street. And it breaks my heart to hear that because those were my little brothers. And now they're spending time in jail. But guess what? It was because they didn't know any better. They took one path, and that path. And guess what? We were on that path. Me and my little brother, we were on the same path. Baseball saved me and my little brother. Baseball saved me and my little brother. Baseball. The fact that we decided to start playing baseball, that's what saved us. Who knows where we would have been had we taken that path as well? Who knows? All of them, almost every single one of them. So it's about being able to accept that change. I was willing to accept the change. You gotta be willing to accept change so that I can now be an example for the kids that are out here on these streets. So I can talk to them when I see them. Every chance I get a chance to talk to these kids that I see out here that are in their 18s, 19s, I'm gonna talk to them. No, look, little bro, this is what it is. I need to talk to them because they need somebody to give them perspective. I used to be in the streets too. Audubon Payne, facts. I used to be in the streets too. I know what it's like to be in the streets. I know personally what it's like to be in the streets. Remember guys, me and my little brother, we were basically the golden childs out here. Nobody used to touch us because our best friends that we grew up with, they were OGs in the streets. They became the ones that used to run the streets. So we was always good in the streets. Nothing ever happened to us, thank God. But at the end of the day, like, I would take it all back so that we could all take the right path. I don't want them to be in jail right now. I don't want none of my brothers to be in jail. Free all my brothers. These are people I grew up with, people I love, people I shared clothes with, people that we spent. We used to go to the store. We only had $1, and we would buy, literally, I remember it like it was yesterday. At the time, it was a 50-cent soda and the 50-cent pound cake. And I would take that $1, and guess what we would do? I would buy the soda and I would buy the pound cake. We would split the pound cake in half. We would eat the pound cake and split the soda because that's all we had. 50-cent sodas. So it's crazy how that stuff happens, but we got to be grateful because at the end of the day, we have a different purpose. And this is what I want you guys to remember and understand. You have to have a teachability index, and it has to be high. You should strive to have a teachability index above a 10. That you're willing to apply everything and anything that anybody tells you to do. Guys, that's how I am. If you are successful and you have the results that I want, you tell me what to do and I'm going to do that. And you know what's funny? I don't have no ego. I've learned from so many people. I learned from Chele. I learned from the leaders in my organization. Yesterday, I was on a call with in my organization. I learned from everybody. I have zero ego because I know that I need to have a high teachability index. I'm always willing to accept change because I understood that in order for life to change, what has to happen, guys, in order for life to change? What does Jim Rohn say? If you want your life to change, what needs to happen? You got to change. That's what he says. You want your life to change? You must change. So simple, but so many people haven't done it. Yesterday, I spent majority of my day learning as much as I can. Okay? So it's important that we understand this, guys, and I want you guys to really sit down and realize this. Like, I could run a whole entire call just on teachability index. teaching you guys, yo, this is what it is. Break it down. You all have willingness to learn. Some of you guys' willingness to learn are so high, but your willingness to accept change is what's holding you back. You have no idea how many people on this call, the fact that they are not allowing the willingness to accept change to become a part of them, that's the one thing right now that's holding you back. That's the one thing holding you back from your blessings, from the abundance that God has from you. Everything that you want is on the other side of you developing a higher teachability index. That's the only thing stopping so many of you, because so many of you work hard. So many of you have the right mindset. You guys have the right desire. You guys have all the right things, but your willingness to accept change sucks, man. And even if you do accept change, you don't do it for long enough. You don't do it for long enough. And that is the biggest problem we all have. I know that for a fact. You don't even got to tell me. I know it because I feel the energy. I feel the energy. The willingness to accept change is the biggest problem and the biggest issue so many of us face. And even if we do change, we only change for a short amount of time. We never hold it for a long period of time. And that's the reason why so many people are stuck, don't have the results that they want, are not happy with their financial situation. And because they're not happy with their financial situation, they're vibrating low. We look at the emotional guidance scale. Look at what the emotional guidance scale says, right? Any of these, listen to any of these feelings and tell me if you've ever felt these in the last month at least. Boredom, frustration, overwhelmness, disappointed, worry, blame, doubt, discouraged, anger, revenge, hate, jealousy, insecurity, fear, depression. If you've had any of those feelings this year, is because you are allowing the outside circumstances to affect your peace. You've allowed it. So because you're vibrating low, how are you going to be able to attract a goal that you want that's on a high vibration? It'll never happen. It's impossible. It don't matter how good of a person you are, guys. You cannot attract a goal that's on a high vibration when you're vibrating low. It can't happen. It doesn't align. It's out of sync. It has to be in sync. High vibrational being, high vibrational goals held long enough become one. But you can't have a high vibrational goal of making a certain amount of money, of hitting a certain rank, of getting a certain house or car, and then you have low vibrational feelings. It can't happen. It needs to be, like I said, it has to be in sync. High vibrational being, high vibrational goals held long enough become one. Low vibrational being, high vibrational goals never align. You miss it every time. Look, never. It'll be like this always. You got to get into that vibration. You got to get up. That morning routine is the key. That's how I've been able to attract everything that I want in life, is through my morning routine. Because my morning routine lifts me up. It lifts me up. It puts me on the vibration. And now it's just a matter of holding it long enough till I mesh it. But to go back to what I was saying with the book, which has to do with everything, listen to this now. It said, for example, many people are waiting for prosperity. Okay. Many people are waiting for prosperity. Okay. What is prosperity? What is the definition of prosperity? Okay. Right. Prosperity is good fortune, success, thriving, flourishing, like you're living prosperous. Okay. That's all of our goals. We want to be prosperous. We want to thrive. We want to live in good fortune, riches. Okay. Many people are waiting for prosperity. Listen to this. It cannot come in the future. When you honor, acknowledge, and fully accept your present reality. When you are who you are, what you are doing right now, when you fully accept what you have got, you are grateful for what you have got, grateful for what is, grateful for being, gratitude for the present moment and the fullness of life. Now that is true prosperity. It cannot come in the future. Then in time, prosperity manifests for you in various ways. What is he saying there? He's saying is that if you can't live in prosperity now, it's not going to come in the future. If you can't be grateful now, if you can't accept the now, if you can't live in that present moment now, you will never attract the prosperity that you're looking for in the future. You need to be living in prosperity right now. Grateful for guys. You know what the problem is? Let me tell you guys something real quick. You know why you guys think that you're not living in prosperity? Because you're comparing yourselves. You know how many people wish that they even had a laptop to watch mornings when they know from, a phone to watch this call, Wi-Fi. You know how many people wish they had a Wi-Fi to watch these calls? We are already prosperous. It's just we are comparing ourselves to more people. We want to have a nicer car. You know how many people don't even have a car? You know how many people don't have roofs over their head, food to eat, coffee to drink on? But nah, I want more, bro. I want more. Bro, how can you get more if you're not even grateful for the things that you have right now? How can you be grateful? How can you get more if you are not even grateful for what you have right now? People don't even have clean drinking water in places in this world, fam. And look at us here, paying $3-4 for some water when there's people that would walk. There's literally places in the world where people walk miles to drink dirty water, not even clean water, dirty water. And guess what? We are ungrateful. We want more. We want so much more. We are not even accepting the fact that we have so much already. You know how many people wish that they had a business, a vehicle, a career? You know how many people are lost in the streets right now that don't know nothing, have no purpose, have no access to information, never read a book, never meditated in their life, lost? And you guys are here complaining about the fact that this person didn't join your business and that this happened and that this person left, and allowing all of this stuff to affect you guys, when in reality, every single one of us should be living in pure gratitude for everything that we have. That's what I was telling Chele the other day. I was like, bro, when I was living in Miami, and it feels like it was so long ago, but it was just the other day. When I lived in Miami, right, when I was living in my penthouse, bro, it was impossible for me to be unhappy. I was like, bro, how can I be unhappy? Look at where I live. I wake up, look at the view that I have. Look at the access to the people that I have. Look at what I see. This is abundance. It's impossible for me to be ungrateful and be dissatisfied when look at the life that we live, bro. Even right now, I'm here visiting my parents for a few weeks before I head out to Dominican Republic. Dude, I am so grateful for all of this. This is the foundation. This is where it started for me. If it wasn't for this, I would never, ever, ever be where I'm at today. And I'm going to turn this apartment into a 2-story house for my family. Remember, I said this on this call. You can write it down. You can screenshot it. You can record it right here. This 3-bedroom apartment, I'm going to turn this into a 4-bedroom, 2-story house for my family. The same pictures that you see hung up here in this apartment, you're going to see them hung up in my beautiful house I'm going to get from my parents. You guys are going to see it. I'm going to run calls from that house one day. But I'm grateful for this. I'm grateful that I get to live here. I'm grateful that I have a mom and a dad. I'm grateful that I grew up here. Because write this down. The moment you forget where you came from, you are already on your way there. Never forget where you came from. Never, ever, ever forget where you came from. The moment you forget where you came from, you are already on your way there. I'm going to do that. I will make sure of it. But the only way God would bless me with such an amazing thing like that is me being grateful for this moment right here. Me being grateful that I grew up here. Me being grateful for everything that we have. Being happy with what I have. Living in the joy of what I have. Living in prosperity now. You know how awesome it's gonna be when I bring my mom, when I bring my dad and I fly them to the Dominican Republic and they think that, we're going out there for like family and to have fun. And then I tell them, come, I got a surprise for you guys. And then I walk up, we open the door, how I've seen it so much in my visualization. We open the door to the car, right? We walk out and they're like, where we going? What is this? Who lives here? And I just go like this to my parents. Here you go, mom and dad. And pass it to them. This is for you guys. You know how good that's gonna feel? You know how many times I've seen that moment right there that I just mentioned to you guys right there? Here, mom and dad, here. This is for you guys. Thank you for all that you guys did for me. I've worked the last 5-6 years of my life just for this. Just for this. Just to be able to, for that moment, I worked all these years. I struggled all those days. I cried myself to sleep. I struggled. I did this. I did that. I made sacrifices. I woke up early. I did all of these things just for that moment right there. And guess what? I would do it all again to do it again. That's how you guys should be striving to do the same as well for your families, for your kids, for yourself. You know how that feeling that I feel right now, it's unexplainable. So I got to live in that joy now. I got to live in that fulfillment now. That's the only way I'm going to be able to attract that moment when I give my mom the keys. I am extremely emotionally connected to my vision. But remember, I got to be right here. I got to live in this moment right here. Okay? And this is so important that you guys all understand this. I need you guys to understand this right here, right now. Time is an illusion, right? It really is. This is what he says. He says, come into the present moment. Give me 5 minutes and we're done. Come into the present moment. Just be and enjoy being. If you are present, there is never any need for you to wait for anything. So next time somebody says, sorry to have kept you waiting, you can reply, that's all right. I wasn't waiting. I was just standing here enjoying myself and joy of life. That's the truth. I wasn't waiting on any. From now on, if you get late, if you arrive late to me and you kept me waiting for you, I'm gonna just be like, bro, it's cool, my brother. I was just here enjoying life and just being present in the moment. I wasn't waiting for anything, as a matter of fact. I was just being present. Because nowadays, especially when you come from a Hispanic background, people tell you, yeah, I'm on my way, and they still in the crib shaking a shower. They keep you waiting sometimes. So from now on, I'm gonna just be like, bro, I wasn't waiting for anything, right? What did he say? He says, sorry to have kept you waiting. You can reply, that's all right. I wasn't waiting. I was just standing here enjoying myself and enjoy of life, right? Teach you patience. It'll teach you patience, right? People like facts. People saying facts are probably the ones that keep people waiting too, right? I'm one of those. I'm sorry too. I've done it multiple times. But it's important that we understand that, okay? And it's super key. So listen to this right here, and we'll wrap it up with this. He says, the only thing that is ultimately real about your journey is the step that you're taking at this moment. That is all that there ever is. Think about how powerful that is. He says, the only thing that is ultimately real about your journey is the step that you are taking right now. The step that you took to get on this call, to be on this call right now, is all that there ever will be. Think about that. All that you will ever will be is right here, this moment right here. Your life journey has an outer purpose and an inner purpose. The outer purpose is to arrive at your goal and destination, to accomplish what you set out to do, achieve this or that, which of course implies future. But if your destination or the steps that you are going to take in the future take up so much of your attention that they become more important to you than the step you are taking now, then you completely miss journey's inner purpose, which has nothing to do with where you are going or what you are doing, but everything to do with the how you're doing it. Never get too caught up in everything else on the outside. Focus on the inner. Listen to this. He said, your outer journey may contain 1,000,000 steps, but your inner journey only has one, which is the one step that we're taking today. That inner journey has one, but the outer journey may have 1,000,000. The sooner that you realize that your outer purpose cannot give you lasting fulfillment, the better. The sooner you realize that the things that we're going for are not going to give us fulfillment, only the inner, the better. Start looking for that. Stop thinking that that car, that house, that rank is going to give you fulfillment. Working on yourself within is what's going to give you fulfillment. That's what's going to give you the true fulfillment that we are all searching for. It's the work within. Okay? Listen to this. This is the, and we're going to end it with this one right here. He said, don't seek to understand the past, but be as present as you can. The past cannot survive in your presence. It can only survive in your absence. Let me repeat that one more time for those that it went over your head. Don't seek to understand the past, but be as present as you can. The past cannot survive in your presence. It can only survive in your absence. I had to read it like 10 times to actually understand it. I get it now after I read it after a few. I'm like, wait, I'm so confused. I know, and I know some people probably feel the exact same. Listen to it again. The past cannot survive in your presence, right? Because if you are present in the moment, okay, you are happy. Look, some people don't get it. I know, I didn't get it too. Listen to it again. Listen to it one more time. It's very deep. You gotta read it a few times. You actually gotta think about it. This is one of those quotes that you gotta really gotta sit down, right? He says, listen from the top. Don't seek to understand the past. Be as present as you can. The past cannot survive in your presence. It can only survive in your absence. Okay, but let's talk about the first sentence. He says, the past cannot survive in your presence. The reason why the past cannot survive in your presence is that if you are truly being present in the moment, you are happy, you're excited, you're focused on this one step. You're not worried about what happened in the past, and you're not worried about what happened in the future. You are present in the moment. You are grateful now. You are appreciative now. You are thankful right now. Okay? So the past cannot survive in your presence. The past cannot survive in this present moment right now. It can only survive in your absence. So if you're not present in the moment, that's when it can survive, because since you're not present, that means you're either focused on the past or you're focused on the future. That's the only way it can be. That's the only way it can survive, is if you're not present. You guys understand that, right? Does that make more sense? Put a 1 in the chat box if that makes a little bit more sense. The past cannot survive in your presence. The past cannot survive in your present. If we are present in the moment, okay, if we are happy now, if we are excited now, if we are grateful now, okay, there's no past or future. Time is an illusion. Okay? The only way the past can survive is in your absence from the present moment. because you're not present. You're focused on if you're not present, you're either focused on the past or you're too focused on the future. That's the only place it can survive, is in your absence of the present. It's the only place it can survive. When I read that today, I was like, wow. This should be in the bottom right there. So what do we need to do? We need to be focused on the step that we're taking now. I know some of us had some rough past. Dude, I hear some people's stories and I'd be like, bro, wow, I can't believe you went through that. I can't believe that some of you guys have gone through the things that you guys have gone through and you guys are still here, like mentally. I know I've heard some of y'all stories. My guy friends and my girlfriends and everything. I've heard you guys' story, bro. And some of those stories are so deep. And some of you guys have so much things that have happened to you guys in the past that I know it could be hard to let go of and forget. But honestly, fam, you learning about this right here will be one of the biggest blessings that you have in life, because in order for you to accomplish the things that you have in life, you're going to have to do this right here specifically. Is learn how to be present in this specific moment right here. Learn this moment right here. This is the moment that we need right here. Being grateful now, being thankful now. I literally wrote it in my journal today that one of my goals, my goal for today is to be more consciously present throughout the day. Consciously, because we say we're going to be present, but no, I want to be consciously, like where I know like I'm in a situation after this and I'm like, okay, let me be present. Let me accept. Let me be grateful. Okay, this is the key. Because the present is the gift. This stuff, I know it takes time to understand. Guys, look, I'm 4 years into the journey, and now is that I'm finally understanding how presence actually works. I would hear people tell me all the time, Nano, be present, and this and that. And Katie would always tell me as well, Nano, be present, be present. Never made sense to me. I was like, yeah, I get it. Like, yeah, I gotta be present. But this book helped me understand what being present actually is. Like, really understand it, like the deeper meaning behind it, like what leads into it and why presence is important. Changed everything for me. Gotta understand this, family. Facts. Geminis are heavy overthinkers, and we always are. We are heavy overthinkers, and we think ahead a lot. If you hang out with me, you'll catch me in going into space. Like, I space out sometimes, and I'm just like thinking, like, and you just catch me like, they'll be like, yo, what are you thinking about? I'm like, yo, just thinking, Just, people catch me thinking all the time. But it's important that we understand that, guys. There is no such thing as time, fam. Time is a illusion. Learn to be present. Learn to be present. It'll change your life, guys. All right. So if you guys got value from today's call, The Power of Now, all right, put some 333s in the chat box if you guys got value from this. As you guys know, it's always a pleasure to jump on these calls. And remember, my calls are a little different than everybody else's calls. I teach you guys life. I'm not teaching you guys business. I'm not teaching you guys trading, crypto. I'm teaching you guys life principles that you can apply, whether you are in a business, whether you are in a job, whether you are at home. This is for life right here. I'm preparing you guys for real life stuff. Because that's one thing that we're all living is life. We might not be in the same business. We might not have the same interests. We may not have the same desires. We may not be on the same journey. But one thing we all live is life. And that's what I teach you guys every day on Mornings with Nano is life, fam. It's just life. I love to teach you guys life because One thing that my mentors did for me growing up is they taught me life. And I'll never forget that from my coaches. My coaches in baseball, they never taught me, they never really mentored me on baseball. They always mentored me on life, because they always used to tell me, look, they always used to tell me, Nano, baseball is here temporary, life is forever. And these businesses that we have, that we're so grateful for, these businesses are temporary, but our life is forever. Okay? It's understanding that our life is forever. These businesses are temporary. So I'd rather teach you guys about life than teach you guys about business. Because like I said, business is temporary. Life is forever, fam. Okay, so with that being said, that wraps up today's call. I hope you guys really got value from it. I think all of us should set the same intention today to just be more consciously aware of being present in the moment. Okay, take that time today and just let's be present. Let's like throughout the day today, take the time to be consciously present in the moment. What do I mean by being consciously present? Like take the time, take time away from your phone. Being on your phone is not being present. Like take the time to just accept life. Like feel the air going in your nose, coming out your mouth. Feel the chills. Check your emotions, your behaviors. You know, be grateful for the moment that you're currently living in. Be grateful for the person to the left, to the right of you. Be grateful for the trees. Like just be present. Enjoy the moment that you're living at that current moment right there. Like really, really, really accept it, love it, and appreciate it. Do your best to find yourself being present multiple times throughout the day. Because in the world that we live in, we are so distracted with our phones, with our social medias, with our laptops, with our girlfriends, with our boyfriends. We are so distracted by everything that we forget to actually accept the present moment that we have. Just take the time to be present. Go to the park, put your phone down, and just hear the birds sing, hear the leaves wrestle, hear the people walking around. Just really just sit there and just be present and be thankful for the current life that you're living. Be thankful that you have clean water to drink. Be thankful that you have clothes on your back. Be grateful that you have a roof over your head. Be grateful that you have five senses that are working. Be grateful that you have food, like for the little things. Gratitude is the source where all good things come from. Just be so thankful. That'll get you out of all the situations that you're in right now. I promise you, any current circumstance or situation you're going through, you will get out of it if you actually start being present in the moment and you actually let go of the past. Because if you're frustrated right now, if you're mad, if you're disappointed, if you are overwhelmed, if you are worried, the only reason you're having those feelings is because of something that happened to you in the past, or is because you're too focused because you want to be a certain place in the future that you're not there yet and you're not accepting what is right now. The only way you can have those feelings is because you're worried about what's going to happen in the future, or you're focused on the depressing and things that happened to you in the past. I want you guys, all of us, to focus on the now. Okay, so one more time, type now in the chat box if you guys are going to focus on the now today. That's my intention for the day. That is my goal for the day. I want you guys to do the exact same. Just type now if you're going to make a conscious effort to focus on being in the now. Do it right after this call. As a matter of fact, the moment this call ends, the moment I do the prayer, the moment you see that Nano ended the live, Nano ended the YouTube, I want you to just, for that moment right there, let's apply it right away. Let's apply it right there. And then the moment the call ends, let's take the time to apply. Remember, listen to this. Ability to learn, ability to accept change. You've probably never done this before. So you were willing to learn this. Now, let's see if you're willing to accept the change. The moment the call ends, I want you to just sit for a minute or two and just sit there and just be grateful for all the nice things that you have, all the nice little things that you, bro, be grateful for your family. Find things that you can be grateful for. Be grateful for the roof over your head. Be grateful for the house that you live in. Be grateful for the food that you eat. Be grateful for your health. Be grateful that you have a good system in your body. Find a way to just be grateful and appreciative. Hear the sounds of what's going on around you. Put your phone down, put it on silent, and just be grateful. Be right here. And then set the intention that throughout the day, once, because you did that, okay, now I want you throughout the day to catch yourself in moments where now you can also be grateful as well. And just take the time to stop throughout the day. I think we should strive to do it at least 3 times a day: one in the morning, one in the afternoon, and one in the nighttime. Make it a goal to find a time to be present and grateful at least 3 times a day. And watch how things are just going to start to change for you. Something will just start to change for you. I promise you that. And if you need to, set the reminder on your phone if you feel like you're going to forget. All right. So, with that being said, quick prayer and we are out of here, guys. Quick prayer. Bow your heads. Let's pray. Father God, thank you so much for blessing us with another beautiful day filled with your grace and your abundance. We are so thankful for you, God. The lessons that you're teaching us on a day-to-day basis, everything that you are just guiding us through is just so in alignment with everything that we need, especially with all the things happening in this world right now, all the distractions, all the obstacles, all the challenges being thrown at us by society. You bringing up this lesson today about being present in the moment, understanding that time is an illusion and that the only thing we must focus on is the step that we're taking right now. Wow, that is so important because so many of us are so focused on the steps that we took before. So many of us are so focused on the top of the mountain that we are actually forgetting the step that we are taking right now at this very moment. And the step that we're taking at this very moment is the most important one, God. And I want to thank you so, so much for that lesson because so many of us needed that lesson this morning, God. I know for a fact there are so many people having breakthroughs as we speak, God, and we are just so extremely thankful for your leadership, for your guidance, for your wisdom, for your grace, and everything that you're doing for us each and every single day. There's no one better than you, and we are just going to forever just say thank you, thank you, thank you, God. So continue to guide us through these steps. Allow us to have the strength to just be more conscious of the present moment. Be there for us. Show us that you're here. Protect us through everything. Continue to guide us because we are going to be the example that we want to see in others. So we love you so much. We appreciate you so much. Let's have a day filled with presence. Let's have a day filled with joy, filled with abundance, and just filled with the gift that you gave us, which is the now, Father. We love you so much and we appreciate you so much. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. 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 All right. Let's go. Whew. That was awesome. I was present in that prayer. I was so present in that prayer. That felt so good. That felt so, so good. That was real, real presence right there. My brother Sway V was goody. Real, real good. Like I literally, it feels so good to do that. I felt so present right there at that very moment. So, with that being said, guys, I love you all. I appreciate you all. I hope you all have a phenomenal rest of your day filled with love, filled with joy, filled with presence. Okay, make sure that you guys practice it at least 3 times. And like I said, right after this call, just focused on the present. All right. Gustavo, my brother, love you, fam. Thank you so much for hopping on. And I'll see you guys all tomorrow for another episode of Mornings with Nano. God bless, fam. Let's get it.